What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah, and tonight I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Dave.
What's up, guys? Joining
us with the beautiful, beautiful Black Friday 1080p top-of-the-line Logitech webcam. Doesn't he look good? Look how straight it is, everybody. Look how the ship doesn't appear to be sinking this week.
Okay, what's funny is I had the tripod laid over from last week, and when I first set it up, I almost didn't notice that it had like a 10-degree cant to it. I was like, I almost want to leave it and see how big Jeremiah's eyes get when my camera comes on and it's tilted with a tripod.
Dave, we've all been lying to you. Your house is crooked. You've just gotten used to it.
This is the side of the house where we had to take it down below the foundation because there was termite damage, so... It's also the room with the gun safe, so not a great combo. I might just telescope down all of a sudden.
We're also joined by Joel.
Hey.
Joel, how's we'll get to that when we do what are we playing. I was gonna ask you how Star Wars VR is, but we don't have time at the top of the show here. We gotta get into the important stuff. For our announcements this week, I just want to remind everybody about the announcement we made last week. We are dropping down to 3 episodes per month of Casual Shenanigans, and we are going to add Casual Shenanigans Tech into that 4th slot. We don't know what we're doing yet in December. That may or may not happen. Dave, I think we're going to have to just record one like normal this month because the holiday schedule has gotten everybody all messed up. But starting at least in January, that's what we're going to be doing. If you guys want to hear all the reasons why, you can go listen to the beginning of last week's episode. Or not the beginning, but like 5 minutes into last week's episode. We still enjoy doing the podcast. Everything's totally fine. We just need to make some changes so that we can retain our sanity and keep putting the podcast out on a regular basis. So that's what's going to happen. Up next, we're going to start the show like we always do with the main topic.
Trying to think, do we have music for this? Is there like a dramatic tone that happens?
Main topic time? Do we do that one?
Topic time.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. We'll just hop right in. So,
yeah, Dave,
this is your topic, right?
Yeah, because I also have next week's topic, and I've been putting it off for like literally 4 months. So I was like, I should probably just...
We know.
I was like, I should just fall on the grenade and come up with today's topic too. But I was thinking, like, we've talked before in the podcast about how, you know, our generation and us especially, how much we really enjoy gaming, and that we're planning on sitting there in the retirement home gaming with a lot of, you know, spare time for all of our hobbies all of a sudden. But I got to thinking, like, you know, if we're still playing games like we are today, which means we're playing them a lot, like 10 years from today, what do we hope we're going to be playing, like looking forward? And then kind of like coming back to reality, what do we expect we're going to be playing? Like kind of two sides of the same coin there. So I have some of mine listed out, but Joel, you got anything for us if you've been thinking it over?
Yeah, I kind of hate you a little bit for this topic because it's just like, for me, it's just like kind of depressing a little bit. Like, I don't know why for some things, like I kind of like, I just don't want to like think about, I really don't enjoy thinking like 10 years in the future. I have a really hard time with that. Mostly because I think it's so hard to like plan what's going to happen in 10 years, you know, like what do you want to do? Because things change so fast, you know? And you can kind of have like at least for me, outside of filmmaking, interests can change. They can ebb and flow. Like for a couple of years, like this is really exciting. And then a couple of years later, it's like, I'm not too much into that. But gaming is just weird because it's like I kind of take it one day at a time for like what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Things I'm expecting to be playing in 10 years, sadly, is more in-app purchases. just that. Just plainly more in-app purchases and more of that gobbledygook. That's what I expect to happen in a lot more games. More and more games to be not episodic in nature, but more just fast turnaround of stuff. Like always, like a game that doesn't just come out. It's got to be out and be there for a while. Like almost like you're paying for Adobe Suite or something like that. That you're just constantly paying a fee to play that franchise, and you just continue it. So you buy the Battlefield franchise or whatever that, you know, like Origin or whatever, but you pay a subscription fee, and then you have all the Battlefield updates continuously coming out. I don't know. I feel like that's where things can go, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't know. It can change so quickly. You have one game that releases and does so well that didn't have DLC or didn't have anything, and it was just none of that extra crap. And people are like, oh, maybe so. Being honest and truthful with the game, maybe that does sell. Oh, we got to try that. And then they go back to that again. I would like to be able to play Half-Life 3 in 10 years. That would be awesome. I just, gosh, did I tell you I had a freaking dream about it? Like, actually, about 2 weeks ago, I told
not a normal dream, a freaking dream.
I was you'll know why I was so pissed. I told Eric about this too, and I told Zach at work because one of his favorite franchises games, like in all, is a Half-Life 2 series. He played this because I told him, I was like, you should give it a try.
Zach
He's
did?
like,
Or Eric?
Yeah, he played through Zach. Eric's played, I think all of them as well, but Zach, it's his favorite series. And then because when he first got onto it, there were some pretty big rumors about Half-Life 3 at the time. Like this is like 3 or so years ago. And then he got to the end, he's like, where is it, Joel? Where is it? And then he likes Red Dead. But anyway, so I had a dream that I was watching a keynote and they announced Portal 3. And it looked, like amazing, right? And I was like, oh, this is exciting. And they're like, but one more thing. But they didn't. It was like in my dream, the way it happened, it was like they showed like this keynote slide that showed game release schedule, basically, of like what they're working on, and it showed some other things. But then, it showed like Left 4 Dead 3 and it showed Half-Life 3, like icons on this. I was so excited when I woke up. I thought he was real, so I went to YouTube to just rewatch the trailer keynote.
Oh.
Yeah, I literally went, I'm like, oh no, that was a dream. I was so depressed because I was so excited.
Imagine that press conference at like the PC Gamer thing at E3 where they announce Portal 3 and they go, one more thing, Left 4 Dead 3, and like everybody's just screaming and fainting and everything. And then they go, but wait.
3.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Team
3.
Fortress 3.
Team Fortress 3, then they're like, let's do what's never been done. A fourth one. Half-Life Episode 3. I mean, people would just die. People
I have
people would just be laying on the floor
moment.
crying. You'd see grown men just curled up in little balls on the floor sobbing.
I mean, Half-Life has reached that state where, even console
never
gamers
coming
who have never played the series would join the hype train on the reputation alone. Like, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's never coming out.
You see, hope to be playing in 10 years. Elder Scrolls 7.
7, huh?
Well, I mean, 6 would probably be in the next 2 or 3 years, and so just estimating.
I think what you mean to say is Elder Scrolls 6 Special Edition.
Right.
Super Pro.
Still built on the same old engine.
That's kind of, I don't know, that's all I can think of. Like, I just kind of, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I do from time to time go like, oh man, I play a lot of games. But then I do go, no, I do a lot extra, like a lot of stuff. Like almost sometimes too much things, too many projects. So I'm like, I'm all right. I can still continue playing games. I can justify that.
Also, Joel, think of it this way.
Oh.
In 10 years, you'll be, wait, you're 31 now, aren't you?
I'll be 41.
You'll be 41 and exactly the same as you are now. You'll be just the same. That's why you don't want to think about it, because you'll be like, ugh, that's, at some point I got to start buying t-shirts that don't have Boba Fett on them, and and maybe I can't wear cargo shorts ever. Nah, I got another 10 years in me.
Well, here's the thing. I wear cargo shorts through the phases where people hate them, and then right back into the phase when they like them again. They're like, ooh, look at that. Trendy.
So you're going to wear them all the way around the horn back into dad mode.
I'm just imagining like 41-year-old Joel writing a message to Joel today like, Dear past Joel, do not fear. Yes, I am older, but penis jokes are still hilarious. Send. It's like all you send
There
back.
are
Like, it's
4,000 LaCroix flavors. They are all unique and fantastic.
Your great Norman riches have allowed you to buy your own LaCroix mix machine.
Ooh.
Oh my.
A LaCroix bar. Ooh, that would be awesome.
That'd be something.
So
froth
anyway,
in a foam.
back on topic. I'll go next.
Yeah.
I actually I'm going to steal you from your notes a little bit, Dave. I agree with you. I think I'm going to be playing a lot less multiplayer. And the reason I know that is take multiplayer that we that we enjoy now. Battlefield 1 came out. I think we all agree Battlefield 1 is awesome. Been loving it. Been playing a ton of it. But it's not like when Battlefield 3 came out. And it's not like when Modern Warfare came out. Or Bad Company 2 or any of those others. Like, I'm playing a lot, but you know what? I'm going to play a lot of it for a couple months and then I'll probably kind of be done. I'll come back to it when there's new content. I'll come back to it every once in a while, but I don't feel that urge to play it constantly. And
that makes one of us.
Well, no, I mean, like I enjoy it. Every time I play it, I enjoy it. But when I think back, I play a lot of games partly because of the YouTube channel. I play fewer games for me. I try a lot of games, but I commit to fewer games because I don't want to commit a lot of time to a game unless it's going to be something I'm really, really going to enjoy. So I've played a lot of games this year, but I've really, really, truly got into only a few of them. And I've really enjoyed those experiences. Like, I'm not complaining. But I think I'm going to be looking for those more. And I'm going to be less looking for a game where I can get into, and that's my game. That's what I'm playing for the next 6 months. We're all going to hop on and play this game all the time. I just don't think that's really going to be the case anymore. I think we're getting to the point in our lives where we have enough disparate hobbies and things going on that we're not going to commit to that like we did when we were younger. And I think that's okay. But at the same time, it's not like I'm growing out of gaming necessarily or aging out of gaming, because there are still amazing experiences that I'm having that I'm absolutely loving. And I love where gaming's going or aspects about where gaming's going. And I'm enjoying all that stuff. So I think that's all going to be the same. As far as exactly what games I want to be playing, I honestly don't know. I want to be playing new games that we don't have now. Like,
okay.
I'm thinking 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I played Uncharted for the first time. 10 years ago, I got into Call of Duty for the first time. There are a lot of games I started playing for the first time 10 years ago, but 10 years from now, like I'd like VR to be so entrenched that I'm playing new types of experiences in VR. I've talked a lot about like virtual tourism. Like I honestly, I would consider that to be a bit of a game, and I would go do a lot of that. I'd like car games to get to the point where with VR, where I could have like a nice sim rig set up with good VR and just cruise through it. Like, I want to play different stuff that I'm not playing now. What I don't want to be playing in 10 years is the next newest Call of Duty and the next newest Battlefield that's kind of similar to Battlefield we have now. Not that those aren't fun to spend a little bit of time with and then move on to something else, but I want new, unique things. Like, gaming is this huge, huge world, and all of us have really only experienced small pieces of it because you can't pay attention to everything. So I want to dabble in other parts of gaming that I haven't before, and I want to experience new franchises, new characters, new stories, new genres even. But I don't want to be playing all the same stuff I'm playing now. Except like a good city builder or real-time strategy every once in a while. I mean, I just saw that Planet Coaster is out. I've been reading reviews. I definitely want to try me some Planet Coaster.
Oh, dude, me too. That looks actually a lot of fun.
I played so much Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day.
Jeff got it a few weekends back and apparently spent his first day like 9 hours playing, and he built like one attraction in the park. Like, it was like 9 hours of like the entrance to the park.
That sounds good.
It's out right now?
Yeah, it's out.
It's been out for a few weeks. Dude, it has glowing reviews.
Oh,
like,
man.
Now, not Roller Coaster Tycoon World.
No,
sure.
yeah, I know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Just making sure. Joel's gonna be like, guys, I went looking for the new Roller Coaster Tycoon. This sucks. I've been playing it for 10 hours and it's just bad.
What's it called again?
Planet Coaster.
Yeah.
It's a new IP from the older team apparently that used to work on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
So it's the spiritual successor. Oh, Shane says he thinks it's an early access.
It's $44, but still, yeah, this looks awesome. I really hope it's on Mac as well, because Joy wants it.
So, Dave, how about you?
Yeah, now that you guys have salvaged my notes here, I'll finally do mine. I got to thinking, and I really hope that CD Projekt Red is like really solidified by the time that 10 years rolls around, and they're like working on maybe even releasing like Witcher 5. I think they're going to come back to the series, and I think they're going to keep it spaced out enough where it's going to be like one of them every 5-ish years. I would be super happy to see that series continue, obviously.
No, are you sure? Are you sure you want more Witcher, Dave?
Yeah, but I get to thinking, I'm like, if they just did one more, basically because the third game did so well and they've made a lot of money off of it and they have a great launch pad for our fourth game, if they just went all out like head to head, like we're taking on Elder Scrolls level of popularity with like the fourth game and then just ended the series, I'd be okay with that too. So maybe I'm playing the modded version still like 5 years later, 10 years from now. But I would love to see that, obviously. And also to go along with it, Sapkowski's been writing a little bit more Witcher again recently. He's pretty old now, the author of the Witcher books. I'd love to see some more books to go along with it, because that's what solidified the series to me. It would be like as if Joel had read a novel about all the Half-Life 2 characters and then 5 more before he played the game. Like it really becomes an experience. Like to me, finishing the Witcher series, it gave me the same kind of feeling I have when I finish a good book, where I get like really introspective and like thoughtful and just like, wow, like I really just kind of want to absorb that experience. Like that was something really special. So yeah, more of that, please. that'd be great. But I got to thinking, yeah, like compared to even just 5 years ago, I am playing a little bit less multiplayer. Like there's more co-op compared to just straight up multiplayer. But I got to thinking, like Battlefield 1, I just checked in Origin. I've got 95 hours now. I played 3 hours last night. I love the game. It's incredible.
Did you play with the speakers after I left? Like play for a while?
Yeah, I went to bed with PTSD. It was great. Like the shots and all make you cringe with the new speaker setup. But I got to thinking, like, all right, 10 years from now, so we got 2 more years of DLC for Battlefield 1, and because the base game is so good...
2 more years of DLC?
It's 2 more years of the game. It's like...
Got it.
It's like 14 months of DLC, 15 months of DLC, and then like 1 or 2 free, like, little mini DLCs, like a map or 2, stuff like that, It's like a 2-year life cycle, basically, for Battlefield 1.
Sure. And
then I'm like, thinking about how, for me... I'm going to see in 6 months' time, I think this might beat out Battlefield 3 for me. Like, it's well on its way. We'll see. I'm like, if they just keep the exact same formula again and do, like, World War II, all right, I can do 2 more years of that and be really into it. And maybe, like, Vietnam or Korea, like, okay, that's something else new. The formula's still good there. 2 more years. But I'm like, 10 years from now, I don't think that'll be the case. If the formula hasn't changed in 10 years... I don't know if I'll be playing Battlefield like I am now. Mm-hmm. I really don't.
Well, I mean, we weren't playing Battlefield. We weren't playing that for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean,
it could happen again.
So yeah, I think if they change the theme but not the formula, I'm good for a few more. But 10 years from now, it may just be a check-in and just see what's going on and wow, the pretty graphics kind of thing. I might not be playing it like I am now, where I launch it to be like, oh, I'm going to test the speakers. Then I'm like, that pilot thinks he's got something going on? No, Then I'm like, it's 1 a.m. I need to go to bed. But the round's only got 20 minutes left. Let's just keep going. I don't know if it'll be that point for multiplayer. So we'll see. I got to think about some other series I've really enjoyed recently. If I'm hoping, there's still chances that the Stalker team will come back together. And I'd love, honestly, if they didn't make a soccer game for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Seems like the type of thing that we get kickstarted.
Yeah. I would love for them to just go quiet. They're making some like RTS games and stuff, the old Stalker studio. I would love it if in like 7 years from now they announced that they're doing a Stalker that takes place in the same timeline as the original, but it's a complete VR experience with like 7 years from now VR tech. And that's like the only version of the game is being built. Like it's built for that and nothing else. I'm like, I would honestly pick a Chernobyl Stalker experience over Witcher for like a fully focused VR game. I think that would be incredible.
You'd never play it, ever.
Joel, if I could play the first Stalker at night, like I would make myself play at night, I could get to that immersion point. That's what alcohol's for.
Get to that immersion point.
It's convincing you to do things you don't really want to do. I don't know what.
Well, it's immersion friendly too. I get my vodka and my...
Seriously, like the Resident Evil 7
I want to come try it. I want to play it.
the best thing I've seen in VR. It's going to be a full game, but you have to try the 2D version first. Play it for like 10 minutes, and when you switch in VR, you're just like, this is ridiculous. Like this, it's not even close to the same thing. You're just like, what in the world? Like everything's a million times more suspenseful and intense. It's just crazy. It's so good.
I'm excited. I want to come try it out.
Shane just pointed out in chat, 10 years from now, we're all going to be playing the multi-threaded Arma 4, making full use of our 32 cores.
But it's going to be too late because all the CPUs are even something different. It's like, we don't do multi-core anymore. It's back to single core. Like, come on!
It's like quantum computing, and Arma's like, we got multi-threads. Like, well, it's quantum now.
Dang it.
As far as hoping goes, this is just for you, Joel. 10 years from now, I'll be playing Half-Life 3 Episode 2. 10 years from now. Because Episode 1's coming out in the next few years, guys. Anytime now. And I think as far as like the reality side of it, like what do I expect to be playing? I expect it'll be an Assassin's Creed game still in 10 years. I think that's a series that's going to be like Halo. It's going to be like a 30-year series. I think it's going to be around forever.
When people aren't that excited about it anymore, they'll still sell enough, a couple million copies each time. It'll just be like a good, stable series. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I'm thinking. But then I got to Call of Duty, and I'm like, I think 10 years from now, whereas Assassin's Creed might be like still kind of like flatlining but still alive, I think Call of Duty might be at like a reboot stage where they've gone to like a new IP with the same style of just war shooter, but Call of Duty might be like retired at that point. Just as far as expectations go. But yeah, those are my thoughts for 10 years from now. I'm excited to see the stuff that we're not thinking about now. But honestly, the last few years of gaming have been so good that a lot of what I want to be playing in 10 years is stuff that has really impressed me in the last couple of years. So
that makes sense.
There was a really interesting article that just came out about VR. I'll keep it really short. It was just kind of fascinating. And one was saying, he said, the best thing about VR right now is not necessarily VR technology, is the fact that it causes developers to rethink everything about gaming. You cannot just port a standard game. What's been fascinating is it's been basically proven like every single time you see a game that looks extremely boring and not interesting, you play it in VR, it's not what you expect, and you're like, this is really fun, and that, I think that's kind of cool. They were even saying like just the fact that like the PlayStation VR and all that stuff, it's not like they're on a high-end system to make it work, but it's like it gives basically developers a set of rules. They're like, okay, you have to be really creative, figure out something different. So I think in 10 years, it's gonna be really cool to see what types of games or experiences we have that are not just now and better graphics. Because to me, graphics has been really boring for the last couple of years. They're cool, but it's like it hasn't been like
you've been playing more and more on console, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, so different. More for just like that doesn't sell me on any game at all. Like it's just like I'd say back in the 2002, 2003, right around Half-Life 2 and Doom, the graphics could sell you on a game because it was just like mind blowing, But now they're not mind blowing anymore. They're really well done, but it's not like is there gonna be a game trailer that comes out that looks so real? You're like, oh my gosh, what is this? We haven't had any of those moments for a long time. So for me, it's the gameplay experience that's different.
I don't, maybe you haven't had those moments for a while. I mean, I feel like I've still had a few of those, fewer than we had back then, just because that's when the internet was exploding, and now like you had access to see all these cool, amazing new games you didn't know about. And then of course there's things like Crysis, there's watershed moments where you're like, well, nothing's ever going to be the same now. But yeah, I guess I see what you're saying, that games, like, I'll check out a game if it has amazing graphics because I want to see like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. But I won't play a game long term just because of that. Like, it has to be good gameplay. And of course, we'll all play games that have crappy graphics if the gameplay is good. Like, gameplay is king. But I think graphics are getting to the point now where almost every game is good. There have been very few games that have come out this year where you look at them and you're like, that just looks like crap. Like, most games they look good now. And, good is kind of a relative thing, but that gradually keeps increasing. So I'm okay with us not continuing to push stuff forward as hard as we possibly can. And kind of working on emergent technologies. But any other thoughts on that?
Nope.
All right. It is now time for What Are You Playing This Week? Part of the show where we talk about the games we've been playing and give you our thoughts and impressions and all that other stuff. I'm going to go first this week. Dave, do you care about Uncharted spoilers?
Go light on it, please. It is on my list of things to play. It is.
Okay. For everyone else, there will be Uncharted 4 spoilers. I'm going to tap the top of my head when I'm done with Uncharted 4 spoilers.
Oh, so you're going for it then.
Light on the spoilers. No, light on the spoilers, Dave. Put him back on.
Just talk about it quick.
Okay,
He needs to play this game.
All right, Dave, it will be light on the spoilers.
Okay.
So, Joel, I finished Uncharted 4. First little technical note. It looks great, super clean on the PS4 Pro. I was mentioning that last week. Now I'm playing it in HDR on a 4K TV. The HDR thing is cool. It's not like life-changing like a lot of people were talking about. It definitely looks better. The coolest thing is if there's like some explosions or things on screen, that's like a nice, really bright flash, and it looks really cool. But honestly, I saw a bigger difference going from a lower quality TV to a higher quality TV than I saw going from the higher quality TV to HDR. So I think the technology still has a ways to go. But setting that aside, Uncharted 4 was a masterpiece.
Oh, it's so good.
That game was so ridiculously good. And I'll just get all the story spoilers out of the way. They know the characters. They've got the characters so dialed in. They know the characters so well that like they're not just making decisions because it'll be cool for an action game, which is, some of the decisions they have to make story-wise. They're making decisions that just feel right by the character. And I've been playing Uncharted for 10 years now. Joel, that part where like 2/3 of the way through the game where Drake just says, "Thank you for coming back for me." And she says, "Well, I almost didn't." I was like, oh, because if you think back to all the other games, it's like, that makes so much sense. And everything from then on, all the story beats were like, that's exactly what should happen. Like, it's not just them being dumb and running off for another adventure. Like, they get the weight of this, and they get the fact that people have been following these characters for so long, and they are trying to wrap them down and give them a good ending. And I really, really like that they didn't go with the cliche, like, maybe we'll be back next time. They were like, no, like, this is the end. And they definitely left the door, like, there could be other Uncharted stories, but this story is over. And, the game's not flawless. I think the story and the way they resolved everything is about as close to flawless as I could expect for a game. And Naughty Dog is just, I don't say they're unparalleled, but they're in that top tier, like, there are maybe 5 developers in the world that are capable of this quality, and they're one of them. It was everything.
It was a phenomenal ending, and like honestly, it's a phenomenal experience of a game. That thing, that like Uncharted, like they did such a good job at actually connecting some of the other games in the sense of how you actually play the game as a user, and I thought that was really cool. Like, you're just doing all these crazy things, and the danger that he puts himself in, and it's just there's some really kind of cringy parts. You're like, it's very awkward, but it's like such great writing. So
Nice.
Dave's gonna be mind blown playing through Uncharted 4. He's gonna freaking love it.
Yeah, I think maybe this Christmas would be a good time to get the collection on sale.
I own the collection. Jonah has it, actually. I don't know if he's been playing it. Now he's had a kid. Maybe he isn't. Maybe I should ask for that.
He's already beaten all of them.
Oh, yes. Oh, sweet.
He beat all 4.
Oh, sweet. Hopefully I can get the disc back from then. Dave,
Dude,
I'll
he beat
loan
I think
you.
all 4 in like maybe like a week and a half. Like he just went right through it.
Okay. Well,
I won't be doing that, but
Dave, I'm curious if like you'll enjoy it as much playing it all in one go as just saying, like, to me, Uncharted also brings up a lot of memories of like the day the second one came out. Me and 2 of my friends, me and Chris and my friend Michael, like after class each day that whole week, we would just come and all sit together and hand the controller off and just play Uncharted. Like, and when Uncharted 3 came out, Chris drove 10 hours out to visit me, and we played through Uncharted 3 together. Like, I waited 2 months after it came out. So like Uncharted, it's one of those games where it's like Battlefield. It's a lot more than just the game to me, like the memories I have of it. That being said, I have a couple critiques of gameplay in the 4th one. Not critiques so much as if they make another Uncharted style game, I'm kind of getting tired of just climbing on ledges. Like towards the end of the game, Joel, I was starting to get a point where I was like, all right, I get it. Yep. White ledge. Yep. And they add little other mechanics and things, but I'm like, the story's really good and all those set pieces are really good. Like, I'd like them to find a way where you can do more exploration stuff that's not just climbing up and down things, because like that really is starting to get old. But I like all the other changes they made to combat and everything else. Like
This is funny because I remember when you were hearing about it before, you were like really worried that they were taking it away from it being more a linear game and they were opening it up a little bit. You were like so worried about it. Now you're like, oh, I wish I could climb everywhere.
No. Those are two separate things. So it looked like it was going to be very open, and I really like the focused Uncharted experience. It still is very focused. It's really not that open. There's just areas where you can choose how you want to get to the next area. But the story, nothing that changes. Like it's the exact same game for everybody. Just some of the gameplay, like it just gets old after a while, only because it's the thing keeping you from the next story development happening. I'm like, I get it. Climb. I want resolution to this thing that's going on right now. Like I want to talk about that. But the art direction is incredible. The jealous part of me really wishes I could play it on PC so I could just go for broke with the graphics because, oh my gosh, the art style is good. But I mean, it looked super crisp on the PS4 Pro. No real complaints there. But yeah, that game is just, it's a 10. I mean, it's kind of crazy that like, oh man, our game of the year thing this year is going to be interesting because part of my heart wants to say like The Witcher, obviously, for everything. But man, there's been some good ones this year. Like
I know where you live.
Well, if I don't vote the party line.
Welcome to Real Politic.
and then I also finished Titanfall 2. I'm trying. I don't want to take up my 20
nice.
minutes talking about what I've been playing, but I finished the story for Titanfall 2. It's good. It's not incredible. So it started out, I thought it was going to be really, really awesome, and then it just settled into pretty good, and then it finished pretty good. I don't think it's quite as good as a lot of people seem to think it is, but it's definitely a very strong shooter story. I think Titanfall 2's biggest problem, as we've talked about, is that it's a really good game that came out at the same time as a lot of really amazing games. And that's the worst thing I can say about it, really. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really solid game. I enjoyed it. I'm now looking forward to going and finishing Infinite Warfare story. I played almost half of Infinite Warfare while I was recording the Potato Basher footage. So
wow.
I looked at the mission list. I was like, oh, I guess I might as well go finish it now. I was enjoying it well enough to finish, but it's still like Infinite Warfare is getting better, but it still is all my complaints from before where it's just like, are you loving this? Do you like everything about this? Well, we'll blow the whole building up. Are you not impressed? Well, this person will just stab you in the back. It's Call of Duty. So there's still a lot of that, but it's pretty solid. So I enjoyed those. Dave, what you been playing?
As I already mentioned, buttloads of Battlefield. That's like my main thing this week. I've actually been out of town, like away from the house a lot in the last week. So it's one of those things where I'll sit down and I'm like, I don't have time for a single player experience. Like, oh, I'll play a quick round of Battlefield, and then it's like 3 hours. But it's still, I don't have to like commit to a story. I can just get into it and just play some competitive stuff. Honestly, I'm getting to the point now where I'm looking forward to the new content a lot, just because I'm really getting a feel for the maps, and I like knowing the maps, but I think adding just a couple more to the rotation would help keep the game like even more fresh. So I'm looking forward to that new map coming out sometime this month. I thought it was going to be out this week, actually, but there's no news on that yet, but it's coming soon for everybody, free map. I was going to play the new Star Wars DLC, but there's a huge glitch on PS4, and for most people, it uninstalled all the DLCs, and you get stuck in like an installation loop. So someone on Reddit like found a way you can go to like the add-ons tab and like remind the game that it's actually installed, because it's not actually uninstalled. The game just thinks it's uninstalled. Like the files are all there. I think it's probably a DICE glitch, but I'm actually looking forward to playing it. I've enjoyed Battlefront all this year. I actually wish I just bought the digital version, not the disc copy, because I ended up keeping it, obviously. Looking forward to trying that. I've been spending a lot of time in the Skyrim creation kit. That's all I can say about that.
I know something Joel doesn't know.
Oh yeah, you saw sneak peeks. And also, I played. Sorry, Joel.
Nothing.
I don't want to rain on Debbie and Joel's parade. I'm not writing it off, but I did play the first 45 minutes of Skyrim. Was it Ultimate Edition, Special Edition? The
Special Edition. Mm-hmm.
Special Edition. And honestly, I was really bored. Like I've done the intro like a bunch of times as part of it, so that's why I'm gonna keep going for a bit longer. but the game looks super dated. I got a couple of weird ragdoll glitches, like where my character like walked through a doorway in Arma style. I just ragdolled and was like flopping around the door for a second, and then I was just standing again. There was a guy looking at me, and the dialogue just continued like nothing happened. I was like, all right. I think while the new lighting effects are pretty and all, I think honestly my modded version, looking back at some of my screenshots that I saved, my modded version looks better. Outside of just like the God rays, which were not in effect back then, available in the engine. And I think a big part of the world for me, having played The Witcher recently, and also even like Shadows of Mordor in the last couple years, the world in Skyrim does feel a little bit more blocked out and sparse in its decoration. But I'm not gonna write it off just yet. I just wanted to mention this week just that I had played the initial part, and honestly I stopped there just because I'd gotten really bored and I wanted to just come back to it later. But not super impressed. And part of it could be too, again, that besides playing a modded version back in 2011, I did almost everything back then too. So I've seen 90% of the content. I'm not gonna be finding like new things, I don't think, this time around. Mm-hmm. So I probably won't spend too much time with it.
What about you, Joel?
Playing a lot of Skyrim.
Loving it. Super unique. No.
Yeah, honestly, I'm having. I want to actually go back and do a few more quests in Witcher, but I just honestly I can't, because like to me, I'm like, it kind of just doesn't compare for like the just like being in the area. Yeah, I just think it has. I think it has
To
a better
each
sense of
their
immersion
own.
for me. Yep, very much so. That's a good thing. Playing some Gwent whenever I can. Whenever I can. And yeah, I got to play Star Wars VR. So that's kind of all I played this week, because I was working on that short film stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to a couple games. Oh, no, my bad. I played some Watch Dogs 2. The game's a fantastic game. It's really, really good. I think I've got probably...
I've heard.
I think I've got maybe 10 hours in it now. Yeah, story's a lot better than you'd think it was going to be. Like, the trailers really make it look like every character is such a D-bag. And just like, I don't know, like they're just really pushing hard on like social networking stuff.
You can say douchebag on the internet. That's okay.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this before. Ubisoft, in their press conferences and stuff, they come across as very tone deaf. Like they're trying to be super cool and edgy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, like just a good game's fine. Like you don't have to do all this.
It's pretty interesting. There's a character in it, and I don't know really much about him yet, but like I think he has serious depression or something in it. And it's just like, it's not what you think. And you're just kind of like, okay. I was not expecting that to be in this kind of game. You know what I mean? Like a character with that kind of, problem or, issue. And so it's like, I want to know more about this story. Yeah, it's really good. The driving is easily, I'd say 35% better. Like it's not amazing, but they made things a lot more slippy so you can kind of slide around and take corners. Like with the e-brake, it's a lot more fun taking turns and stuff like that. The UI design is pretty freaking awesome. It's weird. It's like a mix of futuristic and retro, like old pixelated art and stuff. But like you try to you're gaining followers and stuff like that, and getting CPU power and stuff. But the way you like getting to a location is kind of like Far Cry, how you unlock it. But here, I haven't been to anything like that so far. It's more of you can go to certain locations like hot spots in San Francisco in the area, and you take like selfies or whatever, and that unlocks that spot. And I'm like, not like you know me, and I love selfies, but it's more of like, but I do find it kind of funny, and it's really well made for like introducing those elements organically. I will tell one short funny story with Watch Dogs. I saw someone that was by like the bridge, he had a selfie stick taking a photo, and I hacked him. I was trying to see if I could corrupt his photo or do something funny with him, like scare him, like, you with a selfie stick, get that out of here. Well, I called on his phone, like sent him a text message. He pulls out another phone. I'm like, you have two phones? I was like, you would. Then I drove over him.
That was the selfie phone, the extra memory.
Yeah, then no joke, I put my car behind him, and then I did the remote thing where you can like remote control cars and make them drive forward fast. Just drove him off a cliff. Get that selfie stick out of here.
Selfie stick, death sentence. This is Joel's world. Oh, man.
Yep, and then, yeah, Star Wars VR. Like, words literally cannot describe. I'm not...
Can noises describe it?
Yeah, noises can describe it. No joke.
They can.
No joke. In the video I recorded, you see me take the headset off a little bit, I'm literally wiping my eyes from tears. Like I was actually crying just a little bit. It was a lifelong childhood dream to see it. Dude, seeing the like rebel frigates fly, like they're huge and you're just like flying around them. And it's like chills the entire time. I'm like, I've wanted this since I was a kid. Like, and Jeremiah, I was telling Dave today, when you shoot asteroids and stuff, you can actually hear like the particles hitting the front of the ship and stuff around you. So when you like shoot a TIE fighter, fly through the explosion, you hear like the like all over the.
That's awesome.
It's so cool, you know. It's about 24 minutes, but it was 100% like bliss. Like no joke, I took it off. I just fell down on my couch, and Joey was just giggling, and I'm just like. Like it was just so good. I was like, I want more of this, please, please.
Joel's got goosebumps and other bumps.
It was everything I was hoping for. Everything.
Awesome. I'm really excited. I want to come over and play that and Resident Evil. Dave, have you played VR yet?
Not yet.
He hasn't done anything.
All right, he ought to just throw him right into Resident Evil. Like, let's just go for it. Give him Star Wars. No, give him Star Wars first to get him excited. Then Resident Evil. Maybe we can film it. All of us playing VR, not like singling Dave out, but for a podcast thing that could be fun. But
it goes in stages though. It's give Dave the VR headset, disarm Dave, launch Resident Evil.
Well, you have to have your friends next to you ready to grab you in case you make a bolt for the door. Like you got to have people just to grab you and then whisper in your ear, "It's okay, we got you."
No, it's got me.
It's now
the
time.
Monster.
It's now time for the news.
News time.
First item. The Last of Us 2 has been announced, or Last of Us Volume 2, Part 2, whatever, has been announced. It's probably coming in like 3 years minimum. Like, I doubt we'll see this released before 2019, but I am super excited.
Yeah,
I know it's going to be very hard. I want to not learn anything else about the game or see anything else until it comes out. I'm going to do my absolute best to interstellar this thing. Because like it's one of those stories. It's going to be, if it's anything like the last one or anything else Naughty Dog makes, it's going to be so good that I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to learn about it. I just want to experience it when it's ready. And they can take as long as they need to. Next news item: The Last Guardian has finally released. A game that skipped a console generation. Not many series can do that. I remember playing. What was the last one? Shadows of the Colossus. I remember playing PS2. That on my PS2. Before I went to college. I went to college over 10 years ago. Yeah, I guess not much else to say about that. Very mixed reviews, which isn't really a surprise. Most of the reviews I've read said the idea and the character, that animal that you bond with and everything, like there's a lot of beauty and wonder and all that stuff. And the concept of the game is great. But the camera controls and the movement and everything are pretty much straight out of a PS2 game, and by modern standards, like, they suck. And the game has really high highs, but the lows are really, really low, and it's mostly on a technical front, which is kind of unfortunate because that means that a great game concept might get looked by a lot of people or might not get finished by a lot of people because of technical issues, which doesn't surprise me because the game's been in development for so long. Like, I'm guessing a lot of that's just old. Or maybe they threw it all out and started over and they just didn't do a good job. Who knows? I'm
not too worried about it at all. Like, at all with the mixed reviews, because I've read probably about 12 so far. Like, I always skip anything when it comes to story, but just when talking about gameplay, I'm not too worried because actually a lot of the reviews are very similar to Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. They all had horrible camera.
They did, yeah.
Horrible. And a lot of the controls would be a little bit wonky. But that didn't detract like 1 second from the experience.
Oh, it did for me from Shadow of the Colossus. It sucked, but I still played through more like in spite of that, because the story was worth it. But no, it definitely was frustrating.
The other thing that doesn't bother me is hearing the people that are saying, I'm angry that the animal doesn't do what I say every time. I'm not worried about that at all, because something that I found was so awesome in Shadow of the Colossus was the horse wouldn't do what you asked all the time. And so it always felt a little bit like of a battle, but that made a connection to the horse, especially towards the end, so much more meaningful because it wasn't something you felt like you were actually gaming, like controlling fully.
My impression from the reviews I read was it's not that he's intentionally disobeying, it's that the game is buggy and you can't get it to work a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's not what I've read. I've read a bunch of them where people
Okay.
are like, oh, I hate waiting. Like, he doesn't do what he says when you press a button. So for me, I'm not worried about that because, like, I mean, that's probably not going to bother me unless it's something where it's like I hit the jump button and my character doesn't jump. That's a big difference between, I think, the other thing. So I'm not really worried about that at all. I think it's going to be probably phenomenal. I'm waiting to play it over Christmas. I'm just going to play it all in probably one day.
Dave, what you got for us?
Make sure I'm on the right tab here. First news, and I was hoping James could make it back this week for this one, but he didn't quite make it because during our "What games are you looking forward to the most next year" podcast last December, I said the game that I'm looking forward to the most next year is The Witcher 3 expansion pack, Blood and Wine. You guys were like, no, it's not a real game, it's just an expansion pack. Suck it, it's RPG of the year. Suck it, James, suck it.
I'm excited. I guess if it got an award at the Game Awards, we have to let it be included in our Game of the Year podcast.
RPG of the year. And honestly,
All right.
at 30 hours of content for just a like initial playthrough, and for me like 50 hours of content, that's a game. That's a full game. It's a new world space, a new main quest, new side quest, like new mechanics, all that stuff. So
What new
congrats
mechanics?
all the mutagens
Oh, okay.
and all the upgrades, the armor dying, the owning a house, I can keep going, the full tournament, the new Gwent tournament with the third faction.
All right.
With the in-game lore where the dwarves are mad about meant to say not third faction,
The fifth faction.
fifth faction.
Yeah, they're like...
There's so many different versions of Gwent now. There's like the original version, the Blood and Wine version, the initial game beta version, the current version. Anyway, congrats to CDPR for winning Game RPG of the Year for an expansion pack. That's awesome. This one, surprise, Titanfall 2 digital sales. So everyone's been saying like, yeah, the physical sales are down compared to Titanfall 1, but physical sales aren't as important. It's all about digital sales. Well, surprise. Digital sales of Titanfall 2 down 72% for the first month compared to Titanfall 1. Yeah.
That's not great.
I still want to believe like there was some greater gamble they're making for like the Christmas season over this, that they must have known something with the analytics or the metrics or something, but it's looking less and less likely. I think they just really screwed up with the launch. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame too, because like the game was ready to launch. Like it appears to be, it got a big patch, but didn't really fix broken stuff from what I understood. It was just balancing and new content.
Still a good game. John has been playing a ton of Titanfall 2, like a couple hours a day some days, because it makes it feel like Halo.
I know, it's like, I really want to play too. I really, really enjoyed it, but it's just like, I just don't, it takes me a lot longer to get into a game when it's on PC because I'm just not upstairs all the time, It's like, I want to play it though, but every time I'm like, either on the computer,
Joel,
I'm doing
as soon as Norman is done, we will come up with a plan. We will move your computer downstairs so you can do this. I mean, Joel, I have a confession for you. I finished Titanfall 2's campaign, kicked back in my chair with a controller. Like, there's not going to be any judgment over here. We'll move it downstairs.
There's judgment over here.
We'll move it downstairs. We'll get it set up for you so you don't have to miss out on cool games just because it's inconvenient. It's the most first world inconvenience. I'm still going to rub on you a little bit for
it's
that.
not just convenience. I mean, I don't really like playing on a computer. I don't like, I don't like the whole experience at all. It's not great. So, I mean, I play all my games on my gaming system. So it's like, I'll play other games when I'm up here, or if there's a specific night, like, hey, we're all playing Battlefield. Yeah, I love playing Battlefield 1, but I don't play multiplayer games even on my own. But it's like, if it was on the PS4, I'd be more inclined to like, oh, let me just jump in, play a few games where it's like, I'll go upstairs, boot, check Origin, update. Okay, now let's jump in and play. Like, by the time, I just probably won't do it. But it makes me sad.
All right. Joel, what's your news item?
I was actually trying to look for the article again. I found it a couple days ago, and I copied it on my phone, but then some reason it didn't paste. But I think it was through Sony. But basically, officially, PS4s have now sold 50 million PS4s now. And I was just thinking, that's a lot of It's a lot of something. Like, a lot of something with the same specs and everything, and especially for games. Like that's a lot.
Well, there have been 4 SKUs of PlayStation 4 now. But
it's all the same system. It's the same system.
No, it's not. It plays the same games. Anyway, moving on.
Technically, yes. So I would say,
technically,
the Android phones enough to do a slight fix.
No.
Well, the first one only sold 175,000.
No, Joel.
So
technically, no.
Yeah.
Technically, no. Virtually, yes. It's virtually the same system.
Anyways, thanks for. Anyways, I just think
good.
that was cool.
Yeah, it's
going from everyone thinking like consoles are over when this generation is about to come out.
I don't think anybody seriously
More of
thought
just
that.
well, there was a lot of talk about doing online stuff, and especially on live. That was like, holy crap, this is gonna change everything.
That's people getting excited about it and talking about it for a little while, but nobody who really knows the industry was like, no, seriously, guys, it's happening this time. It's just people.
There was a lot of talk about it,
not
like from major news sites. Yeah,
major news sites, like just fishing for views. Anytime any new streaming service or whatever comes out, people are like, "Is this the death of is this just like we've had the death of the desktop PC has been going on apparently for like 15 years. Sales are stronger than ever. Everything's going great." But no, it's just people who don't follow that particular thing super closely are always going to think like, "Wow, this other thing's probably going to replace it." And people who really know the thing, like people who really are into the gaming sphere for consoles, will be like, no, like we're not anywhere close to that point yet. It's like saying consoles have to be online only. Like we're still not there yet. Maybe we'll be there in 10 years, but we can't be there yet. Like not enough people have good internet. Like it's literally not possible to do it unless you want to cut out a lot of your user base. I'm just saying a lot of news organizations might have said stuff, but gaming industry experts were not saying that.
It was a lot of news, but I think it was a lot of piggybacking news.
Right,
like
exactly.
A few people were talking about it, and it was a lot of talk around the subject, so then everyone's talking about it. It was one of those deals, I think. Because there was a good amount of chatter, none of it substantial, just a lot of chatter.
And so that puts it, I think, lifetime sales, it's tracking like right on with the PlayStation 2. You would assume it's probably not going to be on sale as long as the PlayStation 2, because that was on sale for years after the PS3 came out, like in developing countries and stuff, because it was just...
it's just a totally different world, too.
Yeah, it's just... But I would imagine that year for year, it's probably going to track with it. And now that there's 2 completely separate SKUs, and they've got VR, I think they're going to still have very strong sales for a few more years. I am excited to see what Microsoft, like how their sales are going to turn around, because Xbox One S did outsell the PS4 for what, like 3 or 4 months in a row now? And they're doing a lot of really strong stuff, but Sony has announced a lot of bigger first party games, and Microsoft is a little bit behind them on that. Microsoft released more of them this year, but I think Sony has more mindshare right now. So I know it's really good. They seem to be like they're competing really hard against each other, and that's awesome. That's all good stuff.
Oh yeah. One final news item for me that's not in the document. Just an announcement for you guys listening. On PC, Assassin's Creed 3 is free for the next month through Ubisoft.
Not the best Assassin's Creed, but it is free.
Totally free. Yeah, I just added it to my account, so go get your free game.
Oh, were you able to? I tried to earlier, and I think they were getting the hug of death from the internet because it kept timing out.
Yeah, servers are up now, it looks like.
Dave, you have to play it for a little bit just to see what you think, just for the snow effects and the...
Yeah, I'm going to play it for the setting, definitely.
Yeah.
At least the first part.
You're going to have to stick with it for a while. Like, commit to, what do you say, Joel, like at least 3 or 4 hours? You think?
I mean, the thing is, like, it's not a bad start. Like, it's just
slow, though.
It's just like you can only do the story. Like, that's it. You can't really do a lot of exploring. But it's still, some of the areas you get to see at the start is pretty cool.
Just don't plan on it like opening up like Assassin's Creed 4. I'm not sure which ones you've played, but it's a little bit different in the way that it starts, and it takes a little bit longer to get into in that way. But all right, it is now time for mail time.
It's now time for mail time. Mail time!
You can write into the show like Quantum of Infinity did. Last episode, Joel asked me why I'm pledging money. Oh, he wrote it in casualshenanigans@gmail.com, just like you can to be a part of the show. My bad. All right, so last episode, Joel asked me why I'm pledging money. Here's the reason. You might remember that some time ago, he donated some money. I'm skimming through his stuff. He did it once because there was a problem with recurring payments through Patreon, so he donated one large chunk of money because he enjoyed the podcast so much. Then he waited till they fixed that issue, and now everything seems to work fine, and he can pledge a small amount of recurring money to the podcast. He said, I'm a long-time listener, and I wanted to pledge for a long time because you are my favorite podcast. Why do I pledge? Well, I just like this podcast so much. It seems so natural. A couple of friends doing a podcast about gaming, laughing, sometimes talking seriously, etc. But when I listen to this podcast, somehow I also feel like a part of it. Just like you can by writing into casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Wink, wink. He threw that in there. Sweet. I said, when I'm tired after work, I'll just launch my favorite game, Elite Dangerous, and pretend that you're my space podcast. It's a good source of knowledge, too, about what's happening in gaming, in the gaming business, hardware, and so on. And when all of you just talk about a topic, it's just interesting to hear what you think. I just love the atmosphere here. Joel has his twisted brain full of weird stuff, Dave's immersion and love for guns, Jeremiah mashing those peasants, and Papa James. All unique styles, but yet together, a magic bomb. Don't think we've ever been referred to that way. I'll take it. It all makes it very enjoyable to watch, and I always look forward to the next episode. I guess it is time to end this email, but I just wanted to mention one more thing. Joel, my brain is still damaged after hearing that song that you did when I pledged that big chunk of money.
Every time I hear the word quantum, I like quantum of infinity. Yeah.
Oh, that is awful.
It was a horrible
He said, well, here,
song.
in return, let me destroy your brain. Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Vaping Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of vaping.
I would definitely not be anywhere near the podcast.
Here, my job is done when Joel is triggered. Seriously, though, just thanks for a great podcast. Thank you very much, Quantum.
Thanks for writing in. That was insightful.
Oh,
I sounded like insightful in the nicest way. That sounded really.
thank you for writing it. I'll add that to my notes. Next person writes in, why are you pledging to the podcast?
Like, that was very insightful. There we go.
I won't say I enjoyed anything you had to say, but I learned. Anyway.
I learned what I don't like.
All right, it is now time for 90 Seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast where Joel does not have a radio show for us this week. Although, Joel, I need to go back and count them. I don't think we're at 25 yet. But
When we're at 25.
We're definitely over 10 people have written in saying they want you to keep working on this radio drama story thing. So if you guys enjoyed it last week, or even if you don't enjoy it and just want Joel to do more work, we need 25 people telling us they want Joel to keep going, and he will keep going. So write in, tweet at us, leave a comment, like someone else's comment. We'll count that. That totally counts. And we'll make Joel do some more work. But Joel, what do you got for us this week?
A little bit story about watching Survivor. So Joy and I, we've been watching Survivor, the latest season. I think it's season 25 or something like that. It's crazy how long it's been going on. Really, really love the show. And this one's been interesting. It's been Gen X versus Millennials. But that actually really has nothing to do with the story. But it's been a great show. Well, if you've ever watched Survivor before, there's always one episode closer to the end when they're getting like the kind of final 5 or final 6, survivors still left.
The final 5?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
They do challenges every day, and there's a immunity challenge. If you get that, you're basically safe from the vote at that evening at the bonfire, basically. Well, one of the special challenges is just more of like the rewards, where you get food, or you get a tour like a volcano or something on the island you're on. They always have like families show up. It's like one family member's kind of flown in, and they all get to see him. And whoever wins the challenge gets to like spend the rest of the day with their family member and everything.
Like
and it's always usually like a really emotional episode, because it's just like 36 days in when they're on, going through this whole thing, and everyone's just. And I remember as a kid watching Survivor, like I hated these episodes, hated them. Like there was always hearing like, I'm doing this for my family kind of things. Like when I was a kid, I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, get to the cool challenges, vote someone out and watch them get pissed. Like that's what I enjoyed as a kid. Like those more of like the
Chaos.
Like I enjoyed more of the high level craziness that would happen, and as opposed to like the, emotional people just talking about their family or just, but there's one character that actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Carl Pilkington, but he's just someone who's he's like terrified of death. He's just super depressed and everything like that. But basically saying he wanted to do Survivor because he loves the show, but he was terrified to do it. But it's been really cool seeing that person, like his entire life is changing around, like just becoming more like outgoing and, just not afraid of things. It's really cool. So anyways, his dad shows up and stuff. But man, I was sitting here And it's always like, I always have like a pillow between me and Joy. So I'm like, I'm just going to look at this pillow for a second. I'm just like weeping silently. And Joy's over there like not phased at all. But it's like, oh my gosh, his dad came. Like he came all the way out there. And just like, see, I'm like weeping during this whole part. It was just like, I'm over 30. I love my family. I know. It was just like, it was like, family's so important. One last ride. No, but I was just thinking like, golly, like time changes everything. Like it's just interesting, like how you just view something so differently now. You know, like I know even before I got married, it's so different. Life is so different. You know, where after you get married, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, you have to let someone know you're going out somewhere. You don't just walk out and they have no idea where you are. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy how like tiny things change, but they add up and it just changes life for you. And so it's just the idea of like, you know, taking care of someone, like losing someone, like watching movies that have that type of emotional bond with various characters or whatever. It's like so much more meaningful, you know, depending, you know, your the status of your life. You know what I mean? Like who you have, what friends or family near you and stuff like that. And it was just like, wow, I was like, okay, I've gotten to that stage of life where I'm crying in Survivor. I'm like, okay.
That stage of life.
41-year-old Joel's going to be a lot of fun.
But
still wears his Boba Fett t-shirt, still drinking his fruity drinks, crying at puppy dog commercials on TV.
Well, it's just funny because I'm like, it's Joy, she really does not get emotional. It's only like very specific things in life, I think, gets her more emotional. But like me, like, I just get triggered immediately by certain family things. Anything that comes around someone that's like the underdog person, you know, and like they finally just gave him a chance, and you know, but like it was, I was like seeing like the mom show up, and oh my gosh, what the mom said, so I'm like, she said something and it sounded so much like what my mom would say. She's like, you know, I would go anywhere for you, son, that kind of thing. I was like, oh, I love my mom.
Joel, when you're setting up a Star Wars night with you and your family, what is the voicemail your mom left you? It was awesome. She's
gosh, what is it? One second.
It's made me laugh. I was like, that's okay. Totally Joel's mom.
So around episode 7, my mom knew I was so excited for Star Wars, obviously, and she's always bought tons of Star Wars toys for me as a kid. She used to go out early in the morning to Walmart, Target, to find the Princess Leia character because it was super rare at the time. This is back like in 98, 99. So like, I have a really special bond with my family when it comes to Star Wars because it was something I grew up around. Everyone loved. It was like, didn't matter who was fighting, who had an angry day. We would pop in a VHS tape of Star Wars. We'd have a pizza night, and my family would just be like, just super cool. And so I told Mom for episode 7, I was like, as much as sometimes people can be kind of not amazing viewing, like experienced people that kind of maybe talk a little bit more where I just want to be like zoned in. I can't deny wanting to always have my family with me to go see Star Wars because it's such an event, you know, because it's like, you never know what can happen in life. And so I was like, hey, Mom, I was like, I'm thinking about seeing, you know, the showing at 8:30. And I just want to let you know, I was like, put it on your calendar. I'll make sure to get you guys tickets because I don't know how to do Fandango or anything like that. I want to make sure they have the seats. She goes, oh, thank you, Joel. Can't wait. Just put it on my calendar. Wouldn't miss it with my wonderful son.
Pleasant family Star Wars times. The Joel story.
If I called my mom and asked if she wanted to go see Star Wars with me, she'd be like, is that in a theater? Do we have to go to the theater? Is it in 2D or 3D at the theater? The only theater in town. What?
It'll be in both, probably. If it is in 3D, it'll be in both.
Okay, I'll have to check because I want to go to the first showing I can, but it has to be in 2D. I'm not going to that nonsense.
I always go see 2D, and then I usually go see 3D the second one just because it's like I'm going to see it again. I might as well see it in a different way.
Did they film this one on digital or film?
Oh, film, absolutely.
Okay, because. Oh man, but the conversion to 3D for episode 7, that was so bad that
the one I saw wasn't bad at all.
Compared to seeing it in 2D, I thought it was terrible. I saw 2D first and then watched the 3D version, and I thought like in comparison it was so soft and like things were just the perspective was so forced.
Maybe it was your projector. It looked really clear.
It was the IMAX, the Air and Space Center IMAX. Like it was
some of those might not be that great.
No, this one's good. This one is top notch. But Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, it could have just been a bad day, bad projectionist day. You know, like, you never know. I mean, especially for IMAX. But, yeah, hopefully I can just see in 2D. But, anyway. Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said, Joel, although I can't really resonate with watching Survivor because I never have. But, I know what you mean.
You should
like,
give it a shot one year. This coming year, you should just watch the season.
I'm good. I will say I watched Battlestar Galactica this year again. This is like, I don't know, my 5th or 6th time through it. And I am getting different things out of it each time. I'm like, oh, I sympathize with these characters more now. And like, no, I understand their position more. He is just ungrateful. He doesn't understand. He's too young. He'll grow out of it. Like, it is amazing kind of how your perspective changes.
You can tell you're getting older when, like, I'm rereading Harry Potter. And now I'm like, Harry Potter, what a youth. Those youths. I'm like,
you're like,
freaking
Snape,
listen to Dumbledore. Listen to him.
Snape is such a good guy. He just wants them all to settle down. It's now time for the comment of the week. Part of the show where Dave and I this week dive into our comment sections and bring you some of the tasty morsels our best friends have left for us. So the first couple are mine. This is on me and Steven's Project Cars review from last year. This is a new comment, though. Considering the two guys reviewing this game claim to love cars and play a lot of racing games, there's some really piss-poor driving here. That's one of my favorite types of comments I get pretty often. It's a, you don't play this game like an absolute professional. How dare you talk about it? Like, you can't possibly enjoy it unless you're better than anyone else I watch on YouTube. Next one, on a Potato Masher video. Listen to this at half speed. He sounds so retarded. LOL.
So like any video played at half speed.
Yeah, like, okay, cool. And I actually liked this one because this is exactly what I was going for. This is on the Potato Masher Pro video. The guy said, the comment says, I've watched many videos, but I didn't subscribe. But this has finally earned my subscription and respect because, to be honest, your titles look clickbaity. But when I came to watch it, it's actually the subject of the video, and you did deliver, and I did watch the entire video. So thank you for being a good YouTuber. Sweet. That's about as good of a comment as I could hope to get. What do you got, Dave?
So, Joel, this comment was left on one of our Fallout tours. I think it might have been the castle. I don't remember now. But yeah, one of the Fallout tours. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand this comment at all.
I love it.
It was posted. Yeah, it was like a month's old tour. Just posted a few days ago. Sounds like liberals. Unsub. It's like,
what? I can see that depending on what
Dave.
Was it us?
Mr. hanging his AR-15 on the wall behind him.
I'm saying, I mean, like, what settlement was it? I mean, because Dave's...
Was it Princey Fancy Pants Communism Island?
Yeah, none of my settlements, like, if anything, it's like anarchism and like fascism. like I don't get liberal out of any of it, but it was so funny. Like, I was like, how do you sound like a liberal in a Fallout video? Oh, that sounds like a liberal Fallout.
Look at those minorities over there. We should make sure they're taken care of. Ew, liberals.
It's just what a weird year. And this comment was left on a Battlefield Rifleman video, and I don't understand. There wasn't much talking in this video. It was mainly just gameplay. It was pretty early on after the Battlefield launch. But it was just no punctuation, just awkward, weird, sucks. Like, oh, cool. It's like Battlefield video review in 3 words, please.
I got one of those too.
Weird, sucks.
I got one of those this week on the Masher Pro video. Nah, too long. Like, that's it. Like, okay. I mean, I guess thanks for sharing. I don't know why you felt like you needed to let me know, but okay, cool.
Good times.
Well, that's been the show, y'all. Until next week, you can be a part of the show by writing into casualshenanigans@gmail.com or tweeting at casualshenaniga. You can find us at casualshenanigans.com for our website where all of our old episodes are. Just as a reminder from that thing we started last week, if you want to download the audio archives, they are in the description of this podcast, audio and video. If you want to come out to a live recording, you can come out Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/casualshenanigans, although we might be going back to Thursdays soon. Stay tuned. Everything's a lie. But you can...
You'll never know what day we're going to podcast on next.
But you can listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher and watch us on YouTube. But thank you all for coming out. Thank you for being a part of the show. You guys have anything else you want to add in?
If you donate $10,000, we'll have a live podcast in your house, wherever you are.
Okay. I wish we could
I
have
just
talked
committed
about
all
that
this.
first.
This is not a verbal contract.
So there's one researcher at the North Pole who listens to this. He's like, "Oh, have I got a way to blow some grant
You
money?"
wouldn't go? I would go to that. I'd do that in a second.
We wouldn't be able to for $10,000.
We could actually go. We could actually slap a real seal.
They're not just everywhere up there. It's going to cost so much money to go find one. It'll be worth it, though, for that 5-second video.
I know, just go,
Committing a hate crime
Get back in
against
the
a
water.
defenseless animal.
Get back in the water. And on that
Anywhere
note, guys,
in the contiguous United States, $10,000, sure, we'll do a show in your room. Please don't be weird. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
I was going to end it with a slap a seal. That seems appropriate.
It does. Until next time, slap a seal.
Slap a seal.